Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Salt Lake Wedding Reviews. Hey, we're just recording this video as a response to a question that we had from one of our brides. Her question was, how can I effectively cut wedding guests if we're on a tight budget or I can't afford to have all of these wedding guests? So this is a response to that question. Now the first thing I want to talk about is cutting wedding guests really the best way to save money? And our immediate response is always, when brides ask this, no. There are much better solutions. It's always best to cut other major expenses before you start cutting guests. Having a fancy wedding, it might be important to you, but it's probably more important to have all of your loved ones there. So if you have to, I guess, take some hits as far as some of the fancy things, extra things you can have at your wedding, you want to get rid of those first, and cutting guests should be your very last thing. Now, some better methods for saving money. Serve dessert only. Your guests don't have to have a full meal. Cut the limo. You don't have to have a limousine. It's awesome when you have those fancy things, but if you don't have the money, don't be afraid to cut them. You can still have a great wedding without. Cutting the luncheon would definitely come before cutting a lot of your guests for your reception. And also you can rent your wedding dress. Now, we've recorded other videos and written other articles on how to plan a wedding on a tight budget, so you can, I guess, look through our video archive and check out some of those videos if you want to learn more about that. Now, maybe you've cut lots of extra features, lots of extra things, and you still don't have a lot of money, and you are going to need to cut guests. Sometimes you have to. It's last resort, but sometimes you have to, and that's okay. I guess our strong suggestion would be to set some rules. I guess before you do anything, decide how many guests you can accommodate, and do your homework and figure out how much money it's going to cost per guest and how many guests you can accommodate. The first rule you can put in place, or our suggestion, is if you don't have the money, start by saying no children. Maybe no children under the age of 12, or no children under the age of 16. That actually will save you a lot of money. It's nice to have the kids there, but it's most important to have the adults there. You can also say no coworkers. Between you and your future spouse, don't bring anyone from work. You can say no high school buddies you haven't seen since high school. You can go down the list and say no extended family you haven't seen in over 5 years or over 10 years, and keep applying these different rules until you've narrowed your list down to the number of guests that you can actually accommodate. Now, your family, your close family, and your best friends are obviously most important to have at your wedding. Cut the least amount of guests you possibly can and go from there. I hope this advice has helped. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box. We're always happy to answer any questions for any of our brides.